Welcome to the commentary zone. As you enter the room, please give us a thumbs up just because we asked you to. Today, Jamal, you found us a really juicy story. Do tell.
I mean, this is very interesting because we talked about this couple before, and I think they've had custody issues before. And we're speaking of Kathryn Dennis and Thomas Ravenel. So, you can see this is from Reality Blurb. Shout out to them. And apparently, Thomas has been awarded, looks like what they call primary custody of the children. I mean, he is moving from Charleston to Aiken, and he's found some disturbing details of the children's care, which it appears have prompted him to file for this adjustment in custody. Now, Debbie, what are your thoughts on this? As we've gone down this road before.
Right, because like when you first sent this to me, I really thought that this was an old article. And so I had to check the date, and I can't believe that she's lost her kids again because, like I was telling you before, when I think it was in the reunion where she mentioned that he was moving, I was like, oh, Kathryn, get your stuff together because he's going to come after custody of your kids and he's going to say something bad about you in order to get them. Um, After looking at the article that you sent, though, I'm hopeful because it says that it's only a temporary loss of custody.
Yes,
So at least it's not permanent. Um, I just wish we weren't going back down this road again. We've already done this. Like, you need to learn your lesson where this man is concerned.
exactly. I mean, you know how he is. He can be petty. He can be manipulative, but you don't want to give someone this ammunition.
Mm-hmm.
And based on his findings, he did have sufficient evidence to file for this temporary order. And what's
Mm-hmm.
disturbing to me is that of some of the allegations, one of them believing, drugs are being left out for the children to have easy access, the children being unattended. I was like, interesting. Um, how would he know this? Like, I'm sure Kathryn wouldn't tell him this, but then in the article states that he did hire someone to follow her and to report back. I'm like, well, I'm not mad because given the past history, so I can't fault him for that. But the fact that there's anything to be found is very disturbing, at least for me.
Oh
You
my God.
know,
Okay, so let's
it's a
let's
lot.
just read a little bit of this article. So it says that Kathryn Dennis has reportedly temporarily lost custody of her 6-year-old daughter Kensington and 4-year-old son Saint to ex-boyfriend Thomas Ravenel amid some stunning and sad new allegations about her parenting. Okay, so as it stands now, she has supervised visitation during the day, Saturday and Sunday, every other weekend. Oh God, that's hard. Um, After Thomas requested a custody modification at the end of last year, revealing his plans to move from Charleston to Aiken, South Carolina, and enroll Kensington and Saint in private school, Kathryn asked that their custody battle be sealed. Ultimately, ahead of her and Thomas's February 9th hearing, her motion was granted. Um, let's see. While the seal on her case blocks details of her custody loss from being exposed, the Sun was able to obtain past court records, one of which featured Thomas revealing that a mutual friend has shared disturbing details with him about a trip he took with Kathryn, her boyfriend Caleb Ravenel, and their kids. He informed me that he witnessed a lot of cocaine use during this trip and that Kathryn had left cocaine within grasp of the children, which he thought was dangerous, Thomas alleged. Meanwhile, in her own court documents, Kathryn said, I do not use cocaine, so naturally I have not left any out for our children to access. And she agreed to take a drug test. Oh my goodness.
I mean, it's just one thing
Oh,
after another.
yep. In addition to accusing Kathryn of drug use, Thomas admitted to hiring a man to follow her and said that he witnessed the children be left alone on multiple occasions. Wow, her kids are too small to be left alone.
Right? And I mean, kids, as soon as they can walk, it seems like they start running,
Mhm.
and they can just run away so fast, and they can disappear quickly too because they move so fast. Because especially if you don't see which way they went,
Mhm. Mhm.
this
Oh
is just.
god.
I do feel bad for her, but then again, I'm hoping this really hits home for her. I mean, I couldn't imagine if I had children only seeing them twice a month, and it's like supervised. I mean,
Yeah.
like talk about a lack of trust.
Oh, look, Kathryn initially lost full custody of her kids in 2016. Then, 2 years later, after Thomas was arrested following a slew of sexual assault allegations, which he denies, she filed for primary custody. Kathryn and Thomas went on to agree to share custody in 2019. So, this is what I was remembering
Hmm.
the first time that she lost in 2016. Kathryn. Oh, you know, as much as they swipe at each other, right? Ultimately, the ones that are hurt the most are the children. And
Oh,
it
most
just
definitely.
it's sad because this is not the first time, Kathryn. You know what you're dealing with. Plan better, get your act together, and be there as a mom for your kids.
You know what you know what the shame part of this is for me is that like both of them love their kids,
Mhm,
but they continue to do things that aren't helpful to the family dynamic.
mhm,
Granted, they're not a family because they're not married, anything like that, but they're still a family in the aspect, like, you're two people
mhm,
who share two children. So
mhm,
you need to both get your things together, get your life together. That way your kids grow up in a stable environment because going this whole back and forth and like custody here, custody there, like and it's sporadic. It's not a settling area space for a child. It's not
yeah,
conducive for children growing up in an environment where they feel like they know what's going to happen. They know who's going to be there most of the time or part of the time. It's very confusing. Like one moment they're with Kathryn most of the time, then they're with Thomas most of the time, then they're back with Kathryn most of the time. Now they're back with Thomas most of the time. That can be very confusing for a child.
I just don't understand why she always gets the short end of the stick with this. He's actually been in jail. Um,
Mm-hmm.
he just recently had huge accusations against him, which caused him to lose his spot on Southern Charm. But yet, Kathryn seems to suffer most of the consequences. It's just infuriating to me. I
I think
guess
what it
money
mostly
talks.
is, it does, but I think Thomas's issues were so far long ago before he even had children. And I
Mhm.
think with her, she's going through her issues like in the public eye. You know what I mean? So yes, there's more scrutiny on her because it's real time. It's an ongoing situation, and
But
when
these
when
latest allegations were since the children were born, that
but
Thomas
he
had to deal with.
but he was not convicted. There's the difference. She
Yeah,
has
but
she's getting
did she
she's been
take
in
the
rehab.
drug test yet? Here's the thing though,
She's been in rehab already though, so that always weighs against you. It always. I know it's not right, but it does weigh against you when you've acknowledged you had said issues. You go to rehab, then you come out. Then there's allegations um, of repeat behavior. So in a court of public opinion, you're guilty. And
I
my
would
thing
love
is,
to know who this friend is.
yes, Me too. Who is this friend, and what compelling evidence did Thomas present to the judge for them to award this
Mhm.
judgment? That's where
Mhm.
I'm. That's what I want to know, and one of these things will come out because for a judge to do this, there had to be like some damning evidence. I mean, I just can't see a judge doing this. Just like, oh, like there's this one thing. Here you go. Thomas had to have like a folder of evidence. I just, yeah.
I don't know.
What are your thoughts on this one?
I just think his money is talking a lot for him. Am I saying that Kathryn is perfect? No. Are both of these people very flawed individuals? Yes. But it's
Mm-hmm.
hard when you're going up against someone who has a bank account behind them that can
Mm-hmm.
drag this out and drag you through the mud. And unfortunately, her history is working against her now because he always conveniently brings this up against her.
Oh yeah, I completely agree. Completely agree on this one because if it were a level playing field, um, they probably would, it probably would stay like a 50-50 or something.
Well, good luck to Kathryn. Good luck to Thomas. Good luck to his new girlfriend and their new baby,
Mm-hmm.
and Kensington and Saint. God knows they're gonna need it.
I just
So
want everyone
disappointed.
to work it out and for them to be able to co-parent peacefully
Hmm.
because I think they're young enough to where they're not fully understanding. So I think that's a
Kenzie,
blessing.
she's a smart one. I'm bet
She
you ain't think
is.
she's picking up on everything.
She is so smart, and I'm just. I think I will. And
Mhm.
for me, I'm just hoping that as they build more positive memories, like this will kind of fade away, like or at least how can it get pushed back so far? It's not so fresh, but when they do get old enough and they start googling their parents and googling themselves, I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
that's that's the problem nowadays. Like Google doesn't forget; everything's online; it doesn't go away. So,
Yeah.
if I were to give one piece of advice to the couple, would be, you know what? As I would say around the ages of 12, 13, they all do family counseling. I would start the therapy early, in my opinion, and so the kids can hear about these issues from the parents and not just
Mhm.
from the internet and not from the kids at school because kids are cruel.
Yeah.
They hold nothing back. They don't spare feelings. So yeah, start therapy early.
Mhm.
Start it early.
Well, good luck to all of you. Okay, so this was a little quick ripped from the headlines, talking about the reality blurb article report. Seven charms Kathryn Dennis loses custody of kids to Thomas Ravenel amid new allegations involving drugs and neglect.
Yeah, get it together, guys. Get it together.
Yep, yep. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.